Hello and welcome back to another video on the rest of it and to another edition of NXT Out of 10. And yeah, lots going on in this week's episode of NXT. We got a few kind of returns from the main roster, leading to a big main event, and yeah, a dramatic ending to the main event, as well as lots more on the show as well. But we kicked things off with Tiffany Stratton versus Fallon Henry. The referee barely rang for the bell before the brawl started. It was physical throughout before Henry flipped Stratton into a surprise pinfall. The Centre of the Universe beat down Henry and jumped trash on her. These two have chemistry to spare. It's just a shame that the battle was so short. The quick finish does allow for a bigger match down the line without any big spots, especially after the Heena's post-match attack. NXT has a big stipulation grudge match in the coming weeks. With the servants thing. Henry winning was a nice surprise, but she needs to win decisively to truly rise out the ranks. The Centre of the Universe can then head to the main roster, starting with the Women's Royal Rumble, and yeah, that's definitely directional, okay? So yeah, for this, I thought it was a good start to the kind of the feud, which I can see lasting for a bit. Surprise result, but also a decent result, and I think, yeah, with the whole post-match brawl, kind of elevated it as well to make it feel more important, so a good start. But Rich Holland then interrupted Ilya Dragunov, telling him that he wants to rewrite his legacy, starting with the Mad Dragon. Dragunov then agreed to a non-title match in the main event. Dragunov v Holland is a non-match to rush, but the former rugby player does fit the NXT atmosphere better than the main roster, I'd say. He's a talented big man, that has not been refined himself as a performer. If the plan is to keep in NXT while Butch ventures out on his own, Holland would slowly turn heel as he's more natural in that row. Hopefully he will find a way to refine the explosive offense safely. He still has a high ceiling long term, so yeah, definitely not against that. And I think this kind of did a good job of showing it here. And yeah, definitely an intriguing main event. Before it's time for Lexis King versus Dean Lennox. King talked big game before he headed to the ring, but he was thrown around by Lennox. The loudmouth heel caught Lennox with the coronation to win. Afterwards, Trey Bearhill arrived with a steel chair, ran off King. This was a fine match, clearly carried by the more veteran performer. It can be considered a success as Lennox came out with some buzz. King's obviously the favourite in this tournament, however, it will be intriguing to watch. Lennox didn't do much in this match, but he was crisp with the offense. If he continues to improve, he could be a good star in the years to come. NXT has put Bearhill in opposition where he's out of the tournament, but has a clearer direction and note in it. So yeah, hope we get some plans there, and where that feud will go will be interesting. So I kind of like the storyline in the breakout tournament. Yeah, I'm not against that, and I think the right person won here. So yeah, good stuff. Before it's time for JC James and Thea Hale versus Kiana James and Izzy Dame. When Hale was rolling, with the Chase U student section, she lost track of the legal competitor with JC Jane recovering outside. Hale caught Kiana James with a Kimura lock, but Dame big booted her for a surprise free. Dame then looked better here than she did in the women's breakout tournament. Jane and Hale pushed her to compete while also highlighting her strength and height. James has a strong affinity for tag team wrestling and already done some basic chemistry with Dame. Hopefully this is only beginning for their partnership. While the businesswoman's got some momentum of her own, Dame could be the key star to kind of elevate her as a potential powerhouse in that style of Raquel Rodriguez maybe. She just needs to prove where she belongs. While Hale and Jane were the losing tag team here, they found their chemistry in recent months and should remain together as a rare, reliable women's tag team. And yeah, definitely intriguing to see where that all goes, obviously, with the whole Chase U things. But I think, yeah, like I say, not a bad match. Probably the right person won. But yeah, I don't know, in a way, it just kind of felt a bit directionless, like, where are we going with this in a way? So yeah, I'm going to give this a tentative 5 out of 10, but maybe arguably could be 6. The North American title was on the line in a triple threat match. Dragon Lee battled both Dempsey and Coffey after Dempsey revealed he would fight for the no quarter catch crew. Joe Coffey arrived to deliver his own challenge, and Dragon Lee, being the fighting champion, agreed to fight both. Coffey was rolling until Gacy pulled him under the ring. Luchador then planted Dempsey with Operation Dragon to retain. The no quarter catch crew attacked the champ after the bell. Joaquin Wild and Del Toro ran in to make the save. This was by far the best match tonight. Dragon has not missed in the ring as of late, and yeah, his time at NXT so far has been a success, elevating everyone. At some point, NXT should revisit the champion defending against Coffey because those two have chemistry. And yeah, the obviously the rival of the LWO should give them a chance to try NXT, where they haven't been able to on the main roster on SmackDown recently. So yeah, on the whole, this was a resounding success, 7 out of 10. Before it was time for Lucia Crucifino versus Tavion Heights in the men's breakout tournament. Lucio took some cheat shots early on at the legs of Tavion, but his opponent got rolling and did not stop. Height picked up the win with running to belly to belly. While NXT fans have not got a chance to see Heights until this point, he made an immediate impression thanks to the Greco-Roman wrestling background. He hit some snappy suplexes. WWE's developed many great amateur wrestlers into quality superstars, and Heights looks like the newest project to match. This was largely a squash match. Christina got a couple of decent shots, but it was all about highlighting Hates, and he'll have a much bigger challenge in Obafemi next week. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I would have liked to see Luca get more here, but of course, big win for Heights, and yeah, kind of intrigued to see where it goes. But moving on to Nikita Lyons versus Tatum Paxley. Lyons pummeled Paxley with kicks and punches. She finished the job with a roundhouse kick and split leg jog. This was a complete squash. While Lyons not all the way back physically, she's looking a bit rusty with her offense. She remains one of the highest priority stars in the women's division. It'd be surprising if Lyons was the one to dethrone Lyra in 2024. She needs to find her stride though first and deliver in the most important match of her career against Blair. Paxley has fully embraced her oddball character though and standing out even when she can't win a match. Hopefully the road ahead will build back her credibility, and I think it will. Yeah, no major issues with this. I thought on the whole it was pretty decent. And yeah, gets 6 out of 10 from me. You can kind of see where they're going with both characters. Before it's time for Gallus versus Hank and Tank. Gallus ran over them and hit Gallus Gate to get the win. Hank and Tank remain an interesting tag team without real serious backing. They are powerhouses that can move and can find their footing with a few wins. This was more about Gallus keeping their momentum as a unit. Wolfgang and Mark looked solid when on the offense and picked up a necessary win to get back into title contention before long. It would have been nice to see something get a bit bigger. After weeks of teasing for this clash though. But yeah, this gets a 6 out of 10 from me. I thought, yeah, like I said, it was a solid match, more about building Gallus up than Hank and Tank. But you know, in a way, it did its job. Kind of would like to see Hank and Tank get a bit more of a run. But for what it was fine. And I think, yeah, kind of achieved what it intended out to do. Before it's time for our main event, Ilya versus Ridge. A competitive back and forth. Ridge plants Ilya with a brainbuster that left the NXT champion unable to continue. He had to be stretched out. Holland and Dragunov were rolling before the premature finish, which was clearly a stage injury angle based on the build-up. And yeah, it's been reported as much. It was good knowing the Mad Dragon is not actually hurt, but it's questionable to play out to Holland's history in this way. It makes him look bad and draws unnecessary heat on him that may not translate to a heel run. This all feels ill-timed, especially with the match between Ilya and Trick that everyone was looking forward to. Hard to believe it happens at New Year's Eve after sustaining a serious injury. Until the whole story plays out, it's hard to make anything of Angle. Hopefully it pays off the way to elevate Holland rather than doing the unintentional. But yeah, for this alone, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I can kind of see what they're doing, but I just feel like with the match against Trick coming up, whole Holland's history, I don't know, I just don't really feel like it was really suitable for this, even though the match up to that point was pretty solid. Overall, NXT gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty solid episode of NXT this week. The main event maybe was a bit questionable, but there were lots of stuff throughout the show that kind of kept me intrigued throughout. But yeah, I don't know, it'll be interesting to see where that whole main event angle. I'm not going to judge it too harshly before we get there. But yeah, I think, yeah, there's enough with the breakout tournament, etc., to keep us interested at the moment. But anyway, guys, that's it really. Thanks so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. And as well as going for daily wrestling news and subscribe to the channel, it's going to be greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.